Hey guys, welcome to UC Davis StarCraft. I'm AlphaFerg, and I'm going to be giving you a special game that was played last night. This is going to be the first game in the round of 16 for the West Division Finals, and this is going to be just game one. It's going to be between Tbeezy and Babypho. So let's get into the game. Here we go. This on the right, the teal Terran, is going to be Tbeezy. He likes T's in his name. And he will be representing UC Davis. Meantime, on the left-hand side of this map, it's going to be Babypho as the evil red Zerg for UC Santa Barbara. Sorry, got confused there. As you know, we are in the round of 16 for the CSL. Last week we played San Francisco State. We beat them 3-1. And Santa Barbara here actually 3-0'd their opponent USC. So this should be very exciting. USC not a weak team at all, so what will Santa Barbara bring to the table this week? I'm excited to find out. I believe we also have the results of the next match. UC Berkeley and University of Utah were playing, and UC Berkeley won that 3-0, I believe. So the winner of the UC Davis-UC Santa Barbara match will go on to face UC Berkeley in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, so the 28th, I believe. And that's about it for CSL, so let's go into the match and see what's going on. We can see that Babypho here is up to 14 drones already, has not put down a spawning pool or a hatchery, so what's he doing? It looks like he is saving up his money. He's going all the way up to 15 drones, and this drone may put down a hatchery. No, it's moving out to scout. So I'm still not sure exactly what Babypho is planning to do. Let me change one of my settings really quick. Alright, that'll be better. But in the meantime, oh, there we go. So Babypho does put down a 15 hatchery, and he's going to rebuild a drone, so he's back up to 15. In the meantime, Tbeezy is just doing a pretty standard wall-in. He's getting his first barracks, and we'll see if he opts to do a full wall-in and his gas timing, because that's going to really dictate what kind of build Tbeezy does. In the meantime, back in the Zerg base, Tim is scouting with this SCV, just patrolling him around, and he's seeing there's a spawning pool and no gas, which means Babypho is not going to do very much aggression right now in the game. Because there's no gas, he's not going to have speedlings, no baneling rushes, that kind of stuff. And so Tim will probably have a more economic opening. In fact, here we go, throwing down the command center. Very early 17 command center, so this is about as economic as you want to be. And he'll pick off this final drone, microing with his Marine. He should be able to catch it. Oh, yeah, drone's going down in a nice heap of blood there. And the game continues. Tim throwing down actually double gas, so he will be transitioning at this timing, I would imagine, to factory play. And that's pretty safe because you can protect this command center with Hellions. You'll get Hellions out on the map about the same time that the Lings would be pushing across the map, though it doesn't look like Babypho has even taken any gas, so there's not really going to be any heavy aggression. He'll be able to, as long as he continues producing Marines, as he has this bunker going up right now, he should be able to take out any sort of pushes. And even with this SCV trying to scout with the third timing, the Overlord will come over and say hello, but nothing too scary going on. This is going to be a pretty economic opening. We can see Tim's gas is already starting to rise. Let's see what he spends it on. The first 100 gas goes directly towards the factory, not even getting a... there it is. There's the reactor. So I'm going to say this is probably going to be a reactor Hellion opening. What he can do is build two Hellions at a time from the factory with the reactor, and he can get a nice big number and go in and try to get some drone kills, or at least force a lot of Lings out, which will really just waste all of this larva that Babypho is trying to get with these queens and hatcheries. In the meantime, let's see if he decides to get tech. He still hasn't gotten any gas. This is actually kind of reminiscent to the old Spanishiwa Ice Fisher build, where you don't get gas until a later timing right now, and then you throw down a whole bunch. Looks like Kenny is throwing down 3 extractors at a time. Meanwhile, back in Tbeezy's base, you can see he's gotten the reactor Hellions on the way, but he also has a very special surprise for Kenny. Where is it? I'm apparently blind. There it is, the starport, and look, it's a tech lab. So there may be Banshees on the way. This barracks actually only producing 2 Marines, and then just being used as a nice add-on dummy, just building those add-ons for the other production facilities, not actually building any bio. The first Hellions are out on the map. You can see them moving across right now, getting a nice... Hotkeys not working. Interesting. Okay. But they're going to be killing that Zergling very easily, only taking 1 hit or 2 on that Hellion, but Kenny's going to be fine. He has 3 queens out here. He's moving the Spinecrawler forward. You always want to move the Spinecrawler forward just so you can protect against any sort of run-by. Don't be afraid to move them forward. If you run in with Hellions, even when it's not done burrowing, all that means is that the Hellions are trapped on this side of the Spinecrawler and can't run out without taking damage, as opposed to being on this side and not being able to run in without taking damage. To go past the Spinecrawler is basically the point of no return, so the Terran is going to hesitate. Don't be afraid to move your Spinecrawlers forward, and you'll be fine. Finally, looks like this barracks is building an add-on for itself, very sharing kind barracks, but Tim is actually getting a nice Banshee force, and he's actually getting Cloak as well. But what does Kenny have coming across the map? This red blob is a bunch of roaches. Kenny used his nice macro advantage from that early opening, the early expand, to get a lot of roaches, and they will be knocking on the door very soon. We can see the Hellions are trying to run away, but the Banshee actually should be able to do a lot of damage. As roaches can't shoot up, this Banshee is actually just going to be able to pick away at the Hellions, and will Tim be able to prepare against this kind of push? It looks like he will. He has the SCVs in working condition. The Marines, not too great of number, will be able to poke away, and the roaches are slowly falling. They don't take out the supply depot, and it looks like this Terran wall will be finished. He is losing a bit of SCVs here, but they're repairing themselves, and there's only 3 roaches left. 2, 1, 0. And the roach pushes over. Let's take a look at the income. Workers killed. That did kill 8 workers, but Babypho lost 13. And I think we can see the resources lost. You can see very heavily in Babypho's favor. In the meantime, now we have the Banshees moving across the map. What? Oh, I selected the blocks. And these Banshees should be able to do a lot of damage. Cloaking there. Will they pick off a queen? The queen's running. It's already down to half health. Will it get a transfuse? No, it falls to its death. Now the Banshees are working on a second queen. The Overseer is finally being morphed, but it might be too late. Oh, picking off a second queen, working away at the Baneling Nest. This is terrible, terrible damage. But the Banshees are finally taking some damage for themselves. A third queen goes down, and the Banshees are going to move out. They know they've done a lot of damage. 5 kills on that one, 3 on this. They have been worth their weight in Zerg blood. And we'll be transitioning now into the mid-game. Kenny has got his lair up, and he is also getting a spire. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. It's about halfway done. Oh, there it is. It's so hard to find. It's just like a big middle finger to all units that can't fire up. Of course, Terran will be fine. It looks like a giant Ling run by here is surrounding these Hellions, but it's not going to get into the base. It was trying to delay putting down this third here, which it will, but he lost actually a lot of Lings there, which is a lot of larvae. And all Tim lost were those Hellions that he's not really relying on anymore. As he's transitioning into Marine tank, we can see that his Marine upgrades are on the way. He's building 5 Marines at a time, finally using this this barracks, who was just so useless in the beginning of the game, just building add-ons like a little punk, now is getting a lot more units in production, and the Hero Tech Lab is going to be getting all of these upgrades as well. And Tim is also getting medevacs, so he's going to have a nice Marine tank medevac base, while Kenny is working on his third. He has very nice income. You can see he's way ahead because of these 6 gas, and he's ahead in minerals, but he's not very much ahead in supply. You can see he's been throwing away units. Again, look at the resources lost, look at the units lost. All 45 of those were larvae at one point, and they've been killed. But Kenny, using the Spire, he's now getting 6 Mutalisks, 2 just popped out, and he's getting a lot of upgrades, which I really like. He even has Baneling speed on the way. So Kenny is doing very well right now, and we'll see what he elects to do. It looks like this Banshee is coming in for round 2. Actually, no, it's just scouting out these bases. It'll be on a nice patrol loop, and also a medevac drop is on the way. The Mutaflock just barely missing, and Kenny is going to be pushing with his Lings and doing a Muta attack into the main. There's no missile turrets. This is going to do a lot of damage. SCV's going down. Tim is trying to react, but his Marine force is way back here and picking off some Marines there. These Mutalisks are doing so much damage. Tim was caught with his Marine pants way in the washer, and finally is able to get these Marines in the position that he wants them to be. But will he lose another tank that's already down to half health? Only 2 Marines here, not able to protect the poor tank, and the tank goes down. In the meantime, there's also a run-by in the north. Oh my gosh, Tim did not have a good engagement there, and he lost a lot. Let's see. Losing 29 workers in that engagement, definitely not worth it. That's a huge loss, and Tim is going to have to rebuild that SCV count, and he will not have the same income, but it looks like there were some harass here. Yeah, the medevac drop did a lot of damage, and I see that there are not many drones out on the field. Yeah, here are the drones. Kenny had to pull them back so they didn't take damage. In the meantime, this medevac will go down, and the drop has ended. These Banshees are just patrolling here. It's a nice move, but you will lose them very easily to the Mutaflox, which is actually getting very high in numbers. And Tim is trying to do another drop. Will the Mutas catch it? Ooh, just barely out of sight, and Tim's going to pull back. He doesn't want to lose his army before it does anything. And Tim is going to have to find a way, because he still doesn't have the SCV count. He's trying to rebuild it. He's trying to get back on these harvesters. And Babypho has totally set up his 4th here. In the gold, he is going to have a giant amount of minerals incoming. You can even see here, it's way ahead. It's about 400 income. In addition, oh my gosh, moving in with his Mutas, but will he lose them? Oh, all the Marines stim and try to pick off some of these Mutas. They're flying away to safety, though. And there's a lot of Lings and Banelings here. Oh my gosh, ooh, they might have moved in there. And I don't know if Tim he's preparing for the push. He has his Marines and tanks spread out. He has the medevacs in a nice position, but he's going to have to withstand the storm until this 3rd base kicks in for him, and he gets the upgrades up that he needs. He's getting vehicle weapons, which I really like. They're going to be that much better at picking off these Banelings from a distance, but will it be enough? Will he have what he needs to hold it? Looks like he keeps on trying to drop 2 medevacs now out on the field, but here comes the giant push in. Baneling's coming in. Muta's taking a lot of damage from the Marines, but Baneling's getting giant hits and taking out a lot. It looks like there's only a few Marines left alive, but they're going to be fine, and there's nothing left but these Mutas. Some more Lings coming in, but the Mutas managed to pick off a tank, but all of them die. And Tim actually didn't do too bad there. He held the push. There's only Lings now, trying to get some Banelings up, but these Marines can push across and should be able to do some amount of damage. Oh my god. Never mind. That's enough Banelings to kill all these Marines moving out, and Tim will be forced to pull back, though he does have those drops somewhere. Yep, there's a drop here in the main base, but it gets taken out very well. You can see spine crawlers and spores being put down there. It looks like this spore crawler also took out the other drop, so Tim is just not able to do enough damage right now. He's still behind in supply. He's trying to keep up. He is teching, and this 2-2 Terran weapons looks like Kenny got a little nervous, but his upgrades are beginning to hit, and he's building a lot of Marines at a time, and he's trying to get this 4th. He did take out some of the creep there, so it'll be able to land very shortly. And if Tim can get this base set up, he'll be in good shape. But in the meantime, what is Kenny getting? He's getting Infestors. His energy upgrade just finished, and Infestors can take out Bio very quickly if used correctly. And just now getting this 4th set up. Kenny has been mining here for the longest time, though he is a little gas starving, so he might want to get some of these many drones into these gas right here, and he'll be fine. It looks like Tim is setting up for the hard hold here. He's getting a planetary fortress. He's getting the missile turrets, but will it be enough? It looks like he has a lot of tanks with those upgrades. His units will have a lot more hitting power, and here is another drop. These Marines are saying, wait for me. Oh, but here comes the push, and Bailing's getting huge splashes here, but it's only working against the siege tanks. Oh my gosh, a huge amount of Marines die right there, and the Bailings continue to move in. But it looks like that's about all of the force that was there, and this fourth is remaining completely fine. The push is over, and actually Tim is ahead in supply now. Kenny sacrificed a lot of units to push that position and did not manage to hurt the economy, so they're going to be fine. With this siege tank set up here with the vision, Tim should be pretty safe, though he might try to fungal from the high ground. I don't know if he can't see, so it would be fine if Kenny just wanted to fungal from the high ground, but not anymore. The tanks are moving in. If Tim gets a nice setup on the high ground here, he'll begin to shell away at Kenny's army. This map is very interesting in that manner, and oh no, losing some overlords for practically no damage. It looks like these Marines are finally coming around, only to be taken out. Poor guys. And Kenny is trying to expand out here, but oh no, this base is not going to live very long with the Banshee knocking on the door. Some Lings running into the main, but where are the Banelings? The Marines are doing fine, and it looks like the Lings are going to be enough to take out this army, but not very well. Kenny is keeping his supply lead, and I'll tell you why. That's because Ultralists are on the way with that very important armor upgrade, and they're going to be able to pound through this Terran army. There are no Marauders on the way. It doesn't even look like he will be able to get very much. There are a few barracks with the tech labs. It looks like 3, but that's not going to be enough when you have 5 Ultralists knocking on the door, and that's going to be a ton of damage. It looks like the Zerg player is getting his final melee attack upgrade, which is going to help, and this tank up here is going to be able to pick away at these drones. More coming in for the slaughter, unfortunately. How many kills does this tank already have? 3. Kenny's trying to get his bases set up, but this Banshee is actually being very effective. 10 kills now, and will be able to take out a lot. But here comes the giant flank from the Zerg player. It looks like he's trying to do a run-by into the main. Not sure that's the greatest decision, but here they come, getting a nice hit on that tank, taking it out oh so fast. The Marines are here, but these Ultralists are what's doing the heavy damage, and they have so much health. That 5 armor upgrade just completed, and you can see all these Marines are trying to do damage, but they don't do very much. There is a nice flank here trying to pick off some Infestors, which they do manage to do, but Tim, unfortunately, tech switched to Vikings, which are going to be totally useless. He thought there were Broodlings coming out, but no, he needed Marauders to take out these Ultralists, and that is a nice cleanup, you can see. But what happened here? Kenny did not trade very efficiently. Oh, it looks like he lost this whole base. Oh my gosh, all these Vikings are totally useless. And Tim is finally able to get Marauders out, which will help a lot against this massive, massive force. But it looks like they're going to move into the main here. And, oh no, getting caught with the supply depot down, and the Lings are doing a lot of damage, taking out the tanks, taking out the whole bunker, and the supply depot wall is now going down. Lings doing so much damage. Oh man, I don't know if Tim has what it takes. Finally his Bioforce is here to the rescue, but will it take out... Oh my gosh, Baneling's doing damage. The Ultralist area of attack just cleans up this bio so fast. These 2 Ultras are still alive after getting... How many kills is it? 17 and 3. Okay, so this guy killed all... got kill steals here. If this was Dota, that guy'd be pulling in the gold. He'd be happy, but he does die finally, and the Terran reinforcements are finally enough to trade. And oh my gosh, but look at this Marine counterattack. The landed Vikings getting in on the action are going to do so much damage. They took out the gold base. The Banshee successfully denied the base, and you know what? Kenny has only 1 mining base left. If Tim can hold, you can see he's ahead in supply. He's finally managed to tip the scales in his favor despite having basically no natural, but his production is holding. He still has very nice control of the 4th here, and Babypho calls it a day. He knows he cannot hold against this push that is coming out of the units that were able to survive the Ultralisk attack, and that's going to be it. What an exciting game. I'm really excited to see how the rest of these UC Davis versus Santa Barbara games go, as we'll be going into the next set when they get played. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.